r/askreddit. What's the most F hashtag kicked up shit you've walked into?
Heard a bang in my kitchen and walked in to find that my roommate slipped and cracked his head open. So much effing blood. He was out cold. He's fine though, a few staples and he was just as dumb as before, so no biggie.
I cracked my head once. You don't really feel anything. I can only vaguely remember the sound of the ambulance. The next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital after the staples and stuff.
I walked into my friend's house just as his teenage sister told her family she was pregnant.
I, 12-ish at the time, was in my friend's house when his pregnant 16-year sister told her dad the name of the guy who got her pregnant, douchebag from their church. The dad was crying with a baseball bat at the front door for like 20 minutes while me and my friend played Super Smash, literally 10 feet away.
Perfect opportunity for the son to walk up to the dad, hug him, and whisper, "Don't worry, Dad, I promise I'll never get pregnant."
I walked in to re-evaluate a patient and the patient was getting a blowjob from girlfriend in the ER. Clearly there is no emergency. You, sir, are discharged.
Not me, but my brother told me this. My brother is blind and so is his friend. Let's call him Kenny. Kenny lived with his dad until one day when his dad decided to hang himself in the garage. Kenny found him by bumping into him and trying to find him when he got home from work. Was the most fucked up thing I ever heard.
God damn, I don't even know how I'd deal with something like that.
My mother cheating on her boyfriend with her ex-husband. Later in life I found out my mother is a serial cheater. Even more odd is that she claims to hate sex.
Worked downtown and was on my lunch break. Went to the bathroom before heading back to the office. Walked in on a girl taking a crap in the sink. Before I had arrived, she must have crap and smeared it all over the mirror. She kind of hissed at me when I walked in. I got the hell out of there and told security.
I'd hiss back.
At university, I walked in on my housemate, having cocaine blown up his arse with a bicycle pump by his girlfriend. They're married now, so there's someone out there for everyone.
Love is love, you know.
During a night of drinking and partying, I laid my friend down in this room after he passed out outside. When it was to leave, I went back to the room to get him only to be greeted by a couple in full doggy-style mode next to him as he slept, and I'm talking pounding it.
Pounding it.
Once walked in on a co-worker giving a manager a blowjob she was furiously going at it to. He got startled. She stopped. But the fucked up thing was she came up to me later and said that could be you and winked. It was fucked up because all three of us were married to other people. I noped out.
That was a bribe to keep you from blabbing.
Keep your mouth shut or I'll suck you a D2.
A guy with a beer bong in his butt and someone pouring Jack and Coke in it.
Got a message from a friend of my then-girlfriend. Told me I needed to go to my girlfriend's house because she was feeling rather horny. Was odd that her friend sent me this message, but I thought I was getting sex, so I holed bot over there. She was horny, all right. Horny for the two dudes spit-roasting her.
Good on that friend for telling you to check it out.
Yeah, she had my back.
My roommate getting ready to have sex with his best friend's wife while their kids who were on a play date were napping. A. Spelling.
Go on. Go on.
He was in the army, as was his best friend. I knew him from Ez, and he was having money issues, and I was ready to move out of my parents' house for the first time. About 2 months in, he tells me that Carol will be coming over with her daughter for a play date with his son. Well, it gets to be about 6 p.m., and I'm in my room watching TV while they are in the living room. I decide that it's time for me to go pick up some dinner. I leave my room and walk into the living room to see the kids sleeping on the couch, and Carol being held up in the air with her legs locked around him, both of them topless and making out. I saw this, said, "Oh, sorry," and left. While I was out, I got a bunch of texts saying it wasn't what it looked like. A month later, I moved out, for other reasons. A few months after that, his best friend, Carol's husband, moved in. He had no clue.
Walked in on a guy using a Hitachi magic wand on a girl who was orgasming so hard she had crap herself. Dude was yelling no ha, sounding like the mad scientist on Toe Jam and Earl 1.
Tell women can come hard enough to crap themselves. Clearly, I'm a selfish lover and don't watch realistic porn.
I once fucked the crap out of a girl. Like, I wasn't in the wrong, just regular old piv. I got up to take a shower and there was a little turdlet stuck in my pubes. I told her because I thought she might need to clean up, and she started crying. Later, we got married.
When I was young, I was at my grandparents' ranch. My grandmom told me to go out and help my granddad. He was in the barn with a cow berth and had been there a while. I walked out to the completely quiet barn to see him looking down in either disgust or sadness. I walked around to see the most disgusting thing. The baby was already dead inside the mom and had ruptured during the birthing process. This caused massive shock and prolapse of the cow. I saw a low of blood, a smell I will never forget, and the decaying face of a baby cow never born.
An old friend of mine giving his now ex-girlfriend a knife and proceeding to tell her she just needs to do everyone the favor and kill herself.
An old friend isn't good pal I've known forever, or as in no effing way am I still friends with that psycho.
Old as in we were once friends and are now strangers to one another. That kind of vile cruelty makes me sick. I was out of that friendship within a day of confronting his behavior.
Got home from work to find a gangbang happening on my living room floor.
True love is hard to find. Sometimes you think you have true love and then you catch the early flight home from San Diego and a couple of nude people jump out of your bathroom blindfolded like a goddamn magic show, ready to double team your girlfriend.
I think what US/Methzerots is trying to say is true love is blind.
I walked into a cloud of mace once. East Indian owner of a Greek restaurant was arguing with two native women on the street. I'm walking along, and just as I'm about to pass them, he maces the women. Fucked me up right quick.
Dunno why, but I feel you're from Winnipeg, Emb. This story screams it.
Winnipeg. Homer's on Ellis.
When I was about 11 or 12, I went outside to go play and quickly found a trail of deadened puppies that my pregnant Rottweiler had left in the yard. I vividly remember that one was missing its head. I followed 3 or 4 of them into the detached garage where she stayed and found her, eating them. We were able to save 3. It was her first litter, and she clearly did not want them, so we had take over their care. Still turns my stomach to think about.
That's pretty fucked.
I walked in on my sons, all pissing into the toilet at once, while my daughter waited her turn. They were worried about going in on their own because they saw a movie about murderers hiding in bathrooms and killing people.
My little brother, 2 years younger, and I used to accompany each other to the bathroom when we had to poop B/C. We didn't want to be alone for too long. The one not using the restroom would sit on the edge of the tub and we'd just have a nice chat about whatever. He grew out of that before I did, and I stopped asking him when I noticed he started to get annoyed. We also used to take baths together, and I was the first to say I was done with that. My mom came to get me and told me my bro was in the bathtub, waiting for me to take a bath. I told her I'd take baths by myself now. I can just imagine his little face all disappointed when my mom had to go tell him the news. Growing up can be sad.
All I can imagine now is you reading this aloud to all of his guests at his wedding, my dude. This is priceless love.
Spider webs.
You are too pure for the internet. Leave while you still can.